Hey, what's going on YouTube? How you doing? Today is Christmas. I wanted to drop a few pointers there for you, something to look at. I've been busy. I wanted to put something up yesterday, but I had to get my shopping on too, just like the rest of you guys with the holidays, how that's going. So I wanted to put something up. Right now it's Christmas, so let me put something up. Basically, I hope everyone's aware that Hillary's been wearing a surgical boot. John McCain has been wearing a surgical boot. And then some other Democrat, I can't remember her name, but all on Twitter, people have been pointing at her surgical boot. And these boots are, of course, what we think is to hide, when you've got a tracking device on your leg given by the, armed forces, you know what I'm saying? So when you got a collar, when you got a collar on your leg because you got indictments coming by our forces, listen, it looks like the way to hide it is they've been using surgical boots. We're not 100% on that, but a lot of us are talking about it. Something to think about. House arrest? Can't leave the country. Interesting, interesting. So that's something I wanted to bring up. And by the way, if you folks did not know, as you're aware, Trump's president, and Trump's got the Marines around him. Okay, CIA and FBI, they're against Trump because Trump is showing light, spreading light as to what is going on in our government. That would include the CIA and FBI, and the reason why there are so many different levels of classifications within our 17 different agencies of government. Mind you, other countries have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within those numbers. Why do we have 17? And there's multiple classifications, so someone can't see what the other one's doing. This isn't right. That's not quite checks and balances, is it? It's very easy to go rogue if someone else can't see your classification. If everything you've got is classified, no one else can see it. It's kind of how the Federal Reserve works, if you know about the Federal Reserve. But as I digress, let me not go too deep into things. So let's keep that in mind. Now, the Red Cross. Folks, please stop donating to the Red Cross. The Red Cross is a cover-up. They're a front. Excuse me as I down a beverage because it is Christmas. But the Red Cross is not, they're not there to help anyone out. There's a percentage of people that they help out, a very tiny percentage. But mostly what the Red Cross does is they take that blood because it's ran by higher entities, and you can look into this, that are outside of our government. Was it the Rothschilds that owns the Red Cross and Blue Shield, or was it George Soros? I can't think of which one it is, but they are owned by one of those two gentlemen that I just mentioned. Now, and excuse the background, I have there's fucking cats in the house. It's ridiculous. I can't stand cats. Hey, what are you doing? It's funny because that cat kind of understands that. Anyway, so do not donate to the Red Cross. What are you doing? So the Red Cross has been using the blood for satanic rituals and things like this. I know that sounds weird, but if you look at who's really running the United States and you get real deep into it, Satanism is a big cult, and there are these people with massive amount of money who follow this and who allow this to happen. So I'm sorry to tell you that if you haven't heard that already, but that's some research that you need to do on your own. I won't be the one to tell you. Now, the executive order, there has been an executive order to freeze assets, okay? To freeze assets of anyone who has been involved with human rights violations. So withholdings and human rights violations and accounts, freezing assets, denying the right to travel. There have been a massive amount of people who will now their money can't flow. It can't go nowhere. Assets frozen because Trump made sure that a human rights executive order would take care of this. This is something that he and whomever have implemented. Freaking genius. So now money is frozen, can't go anywhere. And by the way, I would like to say that you would be able to look this up, look it up on Google, Trump's human rights executive order, however you want to put it. But so how much money can we seize and maybe put back in the United States? How much money is that? Will that take care of some of the trillions that are lost? Because a lot of these people have stolen from the United States and others, right? So if it's frozen, where do those frozen goods go? Huh? Where do they go? Do they go back to the United States? Because if so, that's a good deal for us. That really is. Okay? It can take care of some of that debt. Also, now, I need you to understand that things that have been frozen, listen, people's organs have been trafficking or trafficked. You go out, you're out somewhere, and next thing you know, you're in a bathtub and someone's taking out your organs. Now, this isn't a joke. I didn't mean for that to be a joke, but listen, there's a lot of people who this has happened to, a lot. And those people have friends and families. And that should not happen to human beings, but that has happened. Okay? This executive order stops that. Freezes all if you've been caught by the Trump train, freezes your assets. You can't do nothing. This is very big. Imagine how many people this has happened to. This is unfair. This is terrible. And I wish this had gone a lot sooner than now. Instead of hiring Obama, instead of hiring Clinton, I wish it would have happened with Trump earlier in the game. You understand what I'm saying? We need to save lives. Can you imagine waking up somewhere and part of your body's been taken out? And who's to say that they're even that nice to put you on ice? They could be very barbaric, unprofessional, cutting you with things that are already rusted and have other people's blood on them. You need to understand this, that people have gone through this under the knife. Under the knife. This is ridiculous. So things like this, there have been 13 names named on this legislation, right? Or this executive order. Excuse me, there's some things I'm still learning myself, but on this executive order, there's been 13 names named. So these people have got to be the kingpins of it. So this is going to fall down hard. And the wording used in this executive order, serious, is hard to get around. They made sure they covered all angles. There's no way of wiggling out of this. Trapped. There's no way of wiggling out of this. They've done their part, they've done their research, and they were capturing all the bad guys. Now in January, things are going to get terrible because they're going to retaliate, possibly through February. But things are going to someone's going to be retaliating, and things aren't going to be very safe. But I need you to understand that what you see on the mainstream media is not at all the world that is actually happening. You need to detract from that. Get your mind out of that. You need to start looking at alternative media, but you have to find the correct alternative media. And that can be hard to do. Someone like Steve Motley, Tracy Beans, or Roy Potter Q&A. So Roy Potter Q&A is how you would type that into YouTube. But listen, you need to start following the correct people who know what's going on and who know why things are what they are. It's very odd to me that I find that people they argue, but they didn't do their research and they really have no argument. So what are they arguing against? I don't understand that shit. I definitely don't. I don't get that. What are you arguing against if you didn't do your research? You're just we're playing a game here of basketball, football, or soccer, and you're just trying to win and be right. That's not how we should be living with our lives right now. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah? Wouldn't you agree? So that type of thing is ridiculous. But just understand, an executive order has been put out to stop some of the most heinous crimes out there. I've traveled to Brazil and France, and I've worried about being being taken away from wherever I was, and then, being put on ice as someone's cutting out my spleen and my organs and whatnot. These are the things that actually fucking happen and have happened to people. You can't get their lives back. This has to happen. And I need everyone to really kind of do their research and understand what's going on. They're bashing this gentleman Trump for no freaking reason except for the fact that they're losing money. What's going on with that? Stop these human rights acts that are going against people. Stop having them losing their rights. There's no reason for that. This is disgusting. It's absolutely terrible. So once again, a Merry Christmas to a lot of people because a lot of people are being saved. This is a Merry Christmas. About as merry as it can get because all the rest of the presidents could care less about it. They got their money. But this is a legit Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas to the rest of y'all. Happy New Year's, all that good stuff. I'll see y'all in a little bit.